My Parkinson's story itself is like some of yours, different than others. It started about 9 years ago. I am 69 and I'll be 70 in July. When I was 60, I started noticing this hand tremoring just a little, and some strange feelings, not feeling right. I can't really explain it. All of you know who have Parkinson's, you know what I'm talking about. And so I went to 5 different doctors in Atlanta before I got some kind of a definite diagnosis. And I ended up, believe it or not, with Dr. Ray Watts, who used to be at Emory and who is now head of the University of Alabama in Birmingham. Then things, as those of you with Parkinson's know, started happening. And I started to notice that the tremor, instead of being just in my left hand, was now in my right hand. And then I noticed that it was in my face. And then I noticed that it was in my leg. And then I noticed that I was losing my balance. And you all know this story in parts or versions thereof. So then came along this year, 2016, which I would have said up until just a few months ago has been the worst year, the way it started out. I had 3 almost accidents in my car. I was pulled over by the police. I went through red lights. I fell asleep at stop signs. I did phenomenal things. When I was pulled over, the policeman said to me, "Do you have any idea what you were doing, ma'am?" And I said, "No, I don't." And he said, "You just went through 6 lanes of traffic." And he said, "That was not a stop sign, that was a stop light. And it was right by my home, and I knew it. I knew it. But I wasn't thinking." Then following that, I had 2 very bad accidents. No one was injured, just my car, which cost an awful lot of money. So in the meantime, my family, that consists of 2 adult sons, their wives, and a 3-year-old, were talking back and forth, and they were saying, "Oh boy, we're really worried about Mother, what to do with Mother." And they were especially worried about my driving, very, very worried. And I was too. And I made probably the toughest decision that I have ever made regarding this disease. I took myself off the road. And I did this before somebody else did it and came and asked me and said, "Mom, give me your keys." And I wanted to see, I didn't tell anybody about it for about 2 weeks. And I wanted to see how I would do using Uber and common courtesy. And I wanted to see if I could make my life run the way it had been running using Uber. And I wanted to see if this could work, if I could actually pull this off, living by myself. And I found that I could. So I told my sons, I said, I just called them and I said, "I want you to know I'm taking myself off the road. I'm selling the car. In fact, it is sold." And they were just astounded. And I know they were saying, "Here she goes again." But so I took myself off the road and then discovered Uber, and Uber at its finest, which I thought was just for young kids that didn't want to drive home after a party. That's what I thought Uber was. Well, Uber is for all of us. I have used it between December and yesterday 75 times. Okay? And I have used it for everything from doctor's appointments to getting a manicure, to shopping, to going to lunch, to going home from a dinner that somebody picked me up for but couldn't take me home. I've used it for everything that I needed. My life has really not changed. I also feel, and everyone said to me, many of my friends who are in their early 70s have said to me, don't you feel like you have lost your independence? Quite frankly, I think of it is the opposite. I have exerted my independence. I took myself off the road. I was a danger. I know I was. I don't know why I did those things, but there's something in my cognitive learning that the dopamine isn't hitting or something. I don't know. So I feel that I took control. I feel I am in control now. And I'm also, quite frankly, glad that they have to deal with Atlanta traffic and I don't. I have moved closer to groceries and my pharmacy. And as I said, I don't have a caregiver, so Uber and Common Courtesy has really saved me. Now what happens is, for those of you that can use a phone, you type, everything is programmed for you. I could not do this myself, and I'm going to tell you that. I couldn't. Ann had to do it for me. And everything is programmed so that I know exactly how to order a ride. I have never waited any more than 10 minutes, not more than 10 minutes for a ride anywhere in the city. And they come and you have a picture of their car, you have a picture of the driver. He pulls up to your front door, he knows who you are. I look at him and I say, hello, John. And he says to me, are you Gail Potter? So you know you're not just getting in some car. You know exactly who you're dealing with. The next thing he says to you is, do you have a special way that you want me to go? Or do you know how to get to where you're going? Or do you want me to plug it in? And you just decide that. And then you sit back and you relax. And you enjoy the ride. And there is no money exchanged at all. When you get home on your computer, you get a printout of that day's ride. And it's just 3 numbers. There's the Uber price, the driver price, and the tax. And the Uber price, using Common Courtesy, is about $1. The driver price is the drivers are not getting the shaft on this. Don't think that their price is getting cut. The drivers get paid their fair wage as they always have. And then there's tax. So I have a receipt for every time that I have taken Uber in the last 3 months. I have a receipt for that. And if it is for a medical reason, or anything even close to a medical reason, it can come off your income tax, because I checked with my CPA in April, but I only started it this year, so next year we'll hope it's better. So what I'm telling you is I look at this as really a freeing up of something. My family I hate to look at their faces when they get so worried. They get so terribly worried. They feel a whole lot better about their mother. And I don't feel like I'm going to be pulled over by the police and he's going to say to me, do you know what you did? And I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, no, I don't. So that is why I gave up driving. That is why I'm using this service. And for me, it is perfect. And it has made me, I was not a happy person the first couple months of this year. I didn't know where I was headed. And I thought I was going to have to go into some sort of institutionalized living. And I just couldn't believe that was going to happen to me. So this has really helped me very, very much. I encourage you all just to think about what I've said. Might not be now, but it's not losing your independence. It's taking control of your life. Thank you.